Looking for a convenient place to find the best in fundraisers and resource companies? Download the Best Fundraising and Resource Guide for 2018. Because we're always on the search for the best fundraising and resource companies. There are new companies in the 2018 guide. Go to Schoolzonepodcast.com and click on Get the Guide Now. Schoolzonepodcast.com. Welcome to Schoolzone's School Fundraising Ideas Podcast. We interview top fundraising and resource companies to help you find a solution to your next school fundraising or school resource need. Are you ready to simplify the search? Now, here's your host, Matt Miller.
Hey, School Zone podcast audience. Matt coming at you here from beautiful Central Texas, EIEIO. I am on with the owner of a really cool company. Quite honestly, I was not even aware these guys existed until about 2 weeks ago. I'll get my act together here at some point. Till about 2 weeks ago when I was at a PTO Today Expo in Philadelphia, and I ran into these guys for the first time. So Alex Scove is on with us from KidGooRoo. Alex, thanks for joining us in the School Zone.
Thanks for having us and for highlighting KidGooRoo.
Yeah, I'm excited to share you guys. I went by your guys' table at the expo and I was like, man, this is cool.
Yeah,
so
you were attracted by the kangaroos, right? It's hard to miss kangaroos.
I was. and a non-live kangaroo, a stuffed one, by the way, a stuffed animal, not a. Anyway, yeah, no, it was really cool, and got a chance to chat with the woman that you had there at the table, and just was really impressed with what you guys are doing, and wanted to get you guys on to share. So, give everybody a little background of you, and how you find yourself in the school space. And then we'll jump off into your company and all you guys do.
Sounds great. I have got 4 kids who have all obviously been part of the school for some time. So I have been involved in PTOs, PTAs, education foundations, and the like for years from a parenting standpoint. And only after launching KidGooRoo a couple years ago did I find myself trying to, talk to the PTA presidents, inform them about the company, the value that we have for not only their schools, but also for their community. And then the fundraiser program that we are running through schools in order to bring the product and the value of the product to all of the individual communities out there.
So how did you go from being a volunteer mom and very active because you're 4 kids to having a company that serves schools?
Yeah, in the middle of the night when I wake up, I think that exact thing all the time. How did I find myself in this position? When we came up for the idea behind KidGooRoo, it was out of a very personal frustration. Like I said, I have 4 kids. They're very different. They've got different skill sets, different interests. And when I was trying to find, in my particular case, it was a lacrosse program that fit my individual kids. It's very hard to find the information that you need to make a good decision. There was no central database for me to search to find all the options in my area. And there was definitely no place to go to find feedback from other parents who'd been there so that I could be educated in my decision making. And I liken it to, today, if you're going to go buy a toaster oven that costs $20 or $30, you can look up ratings and reviews on that toaster oven from a number of different sites. You have all these options and you can get all this feedback and then you can make an educated purchase decision. But when it comes to something important as what am I going to do with my kids outside of school? How are they going to spend those precious hours? How am I going to spend my precious dollars on my kids and make sure that it's effective time spent and effective money spent? There was no resource for parents to help answer those questions. And so we decided to build it. We built it back, started in 2015, very late in 2015 was when the idea came to us. Took us about a year to build. We launched in beta in late 2016, and then came out of beta in the first quarter of 2017. So we've only been live with the site for a little over a year.
So how do you go from, okay, I've got this idea, we want to become the resource. for activities and that type of thing. I mean, you've got two different parts to what you do today. You've got the ability to provide reviews and descriptions of activities all over the place, but then you've got the school side of things as well. How did you guys go about developing a database of activities and organizations, et cetera, to start with? And then we'll jump off into the school stuff.
Yeah. So from the very beginning, we're focused on, and the company is founded by three moms, all three of us. So all three of us said from the beginning, if we're going to do this, we're going to create the product that we want. And if you create the product that you personally want and that you personally need, then that's going to resonate with other parents that are out there, right? So it's always been very parent focused. And we said from the beginning, what we want is, first and foremost, a comprehensive listing of all of the options in my area from which I can narrow down. And then I want to layer on top of that the ratings and reviews from other parents to make it truly valuable. So when you start with that first step, the first step was, how do I assemble a database of programs, start locally? So we're based here in New Jersey Shore. We started locally, and we started going out and cultivating and collecting data on all of the programs in our area. We've now got over 100,000 programs listed in the KidGooRoo database. And by programs, I mean not just individual classes. So there could be a dance studio that runs, a couple dozen different classes. And that would be one program based on the location in the KidGooRoo database. We have over 100,000 that we've built up in the past year and a half. It's a long and arduous process that I'm sure you don't want to go into, but you sort of start small and you grow the idea as your resources grow and as your idea grows. And so we've been very lucky to be able to build out the database to where it is today. We're currently live in 8 states. So now we've got the Northeast, California, Texas, and Florida all in the database live and ready to go, which is exciting.
I think it's cool because I'm looking here right now, and when I went to the website before we started talking, it automatically pulled up some stuff that is nearby to me here in EIEIO in the middle of nowhere. So the fact that you've got EIEIO in Texas covered as well as the areas that you just cited is pretty amazing.
I'm glad to hear. It's always nice when it works, right? That's good news.
So you guys were at the PTO Today Expo, and what you were promoting was kind of the fundraising aspect that this can afford a school as well. So talk a little bit about that, how that works.
Sure. So as I just mentioned, the first step in our rollout is to build the database of programs. We need to make sure we've got all of those swim classes, piano teachers, academic tutors, SAT prep. We got to have all those programs in the database. And step 2 is getting people to write reviews, actually share their experiences. And really, it's in the sharing of experiences that the real value is added to the product, both from a parent's perspective, and then obviously, from our perspective as well. So very early on, our head of marketing, Kathy Golden, who's super brilliant, came up with the thought that all of our parents are in the school system. So if you really want to build this out, and if you want to build it as a trusted resource amongst parents, you need to go to them where they're used to interacting, which is through the schools. So we run a series of school fundraisers. Any school can sign up. It is free to participate from the school's perspective. There's nothing that you have to buy ahead of time. The fundraisers usually run for 2 weeks. And during the length of a fundraiser, any review a parent writes will donate a certain amount of money to the school's organizing body, whether that's a PTA, some people raise money through education foundations, whatever organization they're raising money for. And we have already assembled all of the marketing tools that are necessary to promote the fundraiser. So truly, from a PTO president's perspective, all they have to do is sign up for the fundraiser. They will get access to the marketing toolkit, which includes all the emails that they could use. It includes flyers if they want to print out flyers, social media posts. We always tell them that if they've got a principal that loves to tweet, we've got messages that we suggest they tweet about, to get the word out to parents, let parents know the fundraiser is going on, drive them to the site where they can share their experiences by writing reviews. And at the end of the 2 weeks, we write the school a check. So it's super efficient. It's, again, free for the school. There's nothing for parents to buy, which makes us different from some other fundraisers that are out there. And there's no big event for the school PTO to organize, which can be a relief to some PTO presidents.
So how do you categorize the types of activities, number one. And number two, chances are the database isn't as robust as it could be. So do parents have the ability to add activities and then do a review, or how does all that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. When we launch in any given area, especially when we're running a fundraiser, we try and do our very best to make sure that the database is complete and comprehensive. But you're absolutely right that there are always some things that are missing. Those tend to be, the teacher that is also an academic tutor outside of school who maybe doesn't have a web presence, so we hadn't found him or her before. And yes, the parents can suggest programs on KidGooRoo. We love it when they do that, because that's really how you can get to that comprehensive database level. That is easy to do once you have logged on as a parent. And programs themselves, if you are a academic tutor, for instance, in the example that I just used, and you want to make sure that people know that you're an option in the area, you can list yourself. So you go ahead and post a program, you fill out the information, submit it to us. We confirm that everything is up to date and accurate, and we'll make sure that you get on KidGooRoo so that you can be reviewed.
So how do you categorize?
So our goal is really to cover anything a kid does outside of school from 0 to 18 years old. So we start with the very youngest kids that are coming in for their first survival swim class. And we want you to come back to us over and over again for soccer programs, piano teachers, academic tutors, and even for the older kids, SAT prep and driving schools. So we've got about 167 different categories of programs on KidGooRoo that are grouped into 17 sort of larger groupings, things like dance, academics, sports. And so there are a lot of different opportunities to categorize your program most effectively so that parents can find you. When parents come to the site, they can either search for a specific name if they know what they're looking for, or they can browse through the categories to get an idea of everything that's around. And then everything in the database is either tagged with a location identifier, so the addresses for all of those programs, or what we have found in our marketplace is there are a lot of virtual programs out there, especially in different categories. In academic tutors, for instance, there are a lot of online programs for academic tutors. So those are all tagged as virtual programs, meaning they're hyper-local. They can get to you wherever you are. And we also have a tag for programs that travel. So if you are a piano teacher, for instance, who goes to people's houses and you serve a certain county, we can set you up in the platform so that you are associated with that county, not with a specific address, so that whenever anybody is searching in a radius from their house, they will be able to find you because you'll be captured within that radius.
So do you find that most of the schools that you work with, is this a supplemental fundraising type program that they add to the mix? I know with my company, School Spirit Vending, we're not going to replace some of the other fundraisers that they're doing. Okay. But it's just something that we add to the mix, and it provides, some decent money over the course of a year for a school. Is that kind of how you guys position yourself within the schools in that regard?
It is. There are a couple of things we like to point out to schools when we're talking to them about a fundraiser. And one of the most important ones is the extracurricular activities on kids, both inside and outside of the classroom. There have been a number of studies that have pointed to the benefits of extracurriculars. Kids that participate in activities outside of school have higher GPAs, higher SAT scores, lower school absenteeism, a better sense of self-esteem. So all of those benefits, as parents, we want our kids to have, the opportunity to participate in. And KidGooRoo is a tool that helps parents do a better job of connecting their kids to the after-school activities in which they're going to be the happiest. And if they're happier there, they're going to be more successful there. That success will translate into the classroom as well. So for the schools, it isn't just about the fundraising piece. It's about building a resource for their community that other parents can use to make better decisions for their kids. It's really something that we all need to do a little bit better job in parenting. And frankly, we're all busy, right? We've got kids, they've got activities, we've got jobs, we're trying to get through the winter, all of these things. And we need tools that help us do a better job more efficiently of making better choices for our kids. And that's really what KidGooRoo is all about. So as a fundraiser, yes, we're going to be supplemental. We are going to add a little bit of money to the kitty. But at the end of the day, we are also going to provide a lasting resource that is always going to be there for your community to leverage in making those better choices.
If I'm looking for a tutor, as an example, how are they, and I do a search, and then let's say there's 5 or 6 of them in my area, are they ranked based on, the number of stars in the review, or is it just alphabetically, or kind of how does all that shake out on the website?
It's such a good question, because I'm sure you like me have gotten to a ratings and reviews site and you don't understand how things are being displayed. Why is that 2-star above the 4-star? There are all sorts of algorithms that are being applied these days from different websites that attempt to show you what they think you want to see, as opposed to showing you information that is logical for you to be able to follow. So we have taken a slightly different tact and said, parents deserve to have the information presented to them in an understandable format. We're not going to try and tell you what you want to see. We are instead going to show you the information in what we think is a very logical layout. So we use not stars, we use kangaroos, because that is the way we roll here at KidGooRoo. So we will show you by default listings in your area that are rated and that are the highest rated first. So you will see the 5 kangaroos before you see the 4 kangaroos, before you see the 3 kangaroos. And if there are any ties therein, you will see the program with the most reviews ahead of the program that is the same rating, but doesn't have as many reviews to back up that rating. And then therein, if there is another tie, you will see the ones that are closest to your physical address that you're searching from. So that's the default categorization. And we think that provides the most value to parents, right? Show me the most well-liked program that is also well-liked by a number of people and happens to be close to me as well. If you don't like that sorting, there is the ability on the site to resort based on location. So for instance, if you sort academic tutors in your example based on location, you're probably going to see a virtual tutor first, because obviously they are as close to you as they can get, right? They're at the computer in your house. You will also see people that travel to you that will show up first, and then you'll see everybody else by location based on their physical addresses.
Do you have any process when a new school comes to you and wants to work with you, by which they kind of review a list of the potential activities that are most likely going to show up in their area, so that they can even kind of review it and make sure it's a thorough list, so that if there are any other additions that they know in their school, there's a lot of parents that go do this or that with their kids, right, that they make sure that that's a part of it, so their people are able to review that. Meaning the more stuff that's there, the more opportunity they have to review, to provide value and, of course, raise money at the same time.
It's a great question, because you don't want people coming to the site searching for the dance studio that everybody goes to only to find it's not there, right? So we do, as I mentioned previously, we do put a couple database people on the local area so that they can make sure to grab anything that may be missing. We definitely have had in the past PTO presidents that are very active, that have done exactly what you just described, not from us giving them a list, but they go through the site and they will suggest programs if we have missed them.
So if you're a school and you want to partner with KidGooRoo for the program, what's the process to do that? How do you guys handle that? Would you once again state where you guys are currently working?
Sure. Yeah, like I said, everything is online. We try to make this the most turnkey, easy fundraiser that a school could run. So if you want to sign up for a fundraiser, just go to kidguru.com/school fundraiser. You will see the registration form right there, where you can put in your school information and select the dates that are going to be the most effective for your school. We have run fundraisers now in the following states: New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and Maryland, and then California, Texas, and Florida. We've also run fundraisers in Massachusetts, because we had a very eager PTA president who really wanted us to launch a fundraiser up there. So we made sure to fill out the database in her local area, and that just ran recently, and it was actually a really big success. So I think we're probably pretty open to running fundraisers outside of our core 8 states, but the core 8 states are where we feel the most confident that the database is super robust and ready to rock.
Very cool. Anything else you want to leave the audience with, Alex, before we sign off for the day?
Yeah, I want everybody that's listening to this to go to kidguru.com and write a couple reviews. Even outside of the school fundraiser program, it's important for you to share your thoughts and experiences with other parents. We've all been in a situation before where our kid has come back from a basketball team or come back from a dance class, and you said to yourself, that was a nightmare, or that was amazing. And that's the kind of information that you really need to pay it forward, so that other parents can either benefit from that information or avoid that situation if it's something that needs to be avoided. So please do go to KidGooRoo.com, check it out, search for programs in your area, share your thoughts and experiences. It's going to help out your neighbor.
And guys, that's KidGooRoo.com. And I can't express the importance enough of this, guys. I don't know how many of you guys, I travel all the time. And when I was up in Philly for the PTO Today event a couple of weeks ago, I was there for several days, and I'm an avid Yelp user. And so every time I'm in a town, I'm leaving for Portland, Oregon tomorrow, I'm going to be using Yelp for several days to figure out what restaurants I'm going to eat at, that type of thing. Well, people are relying on that, like myself, and essentially this is Yelp for school activities.
That's right.
And the databases and the reviews are only as good as those that utilize it and share, like Alex said. So please do so. And of course, if you guys see some benefit in this and a way to make some pretty easy money for your school, then sign up the school, get with Alex and their folks, and let them help you raise some money and provide real value and feedback for all the school activities or non-school activities in your community.
Thanks so much. I'm going to hire you for the marketing team in a minute, Matt. Better watch out. Great. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Alex, once again, give everybody the best way that they can reach out, and we'll call it a day.
Absolutely. One more time, the URL, KidGooRoo, KidGooRoo.com/school fundraiser.
Alex Scove, thank you very much for joining us in the School Zone.
Thanks for your time.
For those of you that are listening, if you have not yet downloaded our best school fundraising and resource companies guide for 2018, go to schoolzonepodcast.com, and on the right-hand side of the page, you can download that guide. There are 15 companies currently that are found there that have all been part of the show and do some absolutely incredible things. And what better way to save some time and get educated on some of the stuff out there that's available. We'll have a revised edition here late April or early May as well, with some additional companies in it as well. So check that out. And once again, thanks for listening. Have a great rest of the week.
Thanks for listening to the School Zone's School Fundraising Ideas Podcast and for simplifying the search. Be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. When you do, please leave us a 5-star review in iTunes or your podcast player of choice. Most teachers and administrators not only want their kids to have developed minds, but opportunities to develop creativity, positive human values, and a sense of personal excellence. But your budget doesn't allow for all of it. You need fundraising. At School Spirit Vending, we are helping a growing number of elementary schools fundraise the easy way, and we do all the work. We provide the sticker vending machine, free customized school logo stickers, licensed and non-licensed stickers like NFL and Disney, as well as tons of other fun stickers that are relevant to kids. The best part? School Spirit Vending is free. No upfront expenses for schools at all. A percentage of machine revenue goes directly to the school, PTA, or PTO each month. And did I say customized stickers? Our skilled graphics team can help custom design your school spirit stickers. You just tell us what you want. The only thing you do is provide us a busy hallway or commons area. Oh, and you'll have to find the time to cash a monthly check. It doesn't get any easier than that. 2,000 elementary schools can't be wrong. To see for yourself how easy year-round, hassle-free fundraising can be, go to schoolspiritvending.com/schoolzone.